Welcome to the Smokey Mountain Road leg of our trip. We've got some fun stuff to show you. We have a beautiful campsite. We've got burning coal seams. These are really weird and smelly. And Kelly Grade, probably the best switchback trail in Utah. Really nice. Good morning, Overlanders. So today starts another day of our trip home from Overland Expo in Flagstaff to Grand Junction. And we've done White Pocket, and we've got a video out on that, or we'll have it soon. We have Cottonwood Canyon because we love it, and we already have a video out on Cottonwood Canyon from like last year or something. So we didn't shoot Cottonwood Canyon, we just drove along and enjoyed it. And we got here to Kodachrome Basin State Park, one of our very favorites out here in the desert. And they happen to have a campsite for us, so we got showers, there's flush toilets for out here in the desert. This is a pretty amazing thing. This doesn't happen very often. And it's just a beautiful, really beautiful state park. Unfortunately, everybody knows it, so it's really hard to get in here sometimes. Okay, looking back down Cottonwood Canyon, no cars coming. And ahead of us is Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. So the plan today, and sometimes plans actually, become reality. The plan today is go into Escalante, get some gas. Katya probably wants to go to the market and get something, whatever she gets. She keeps us food thinking. She thinks about food all the time, so she figures the food thing out, and I stay out of her way. Then we're going to go down Smokey Mountain Road, and that's a pretty cool place. We've been there once last year at this time, and but I was really sick, so we didn't really do much photography. And as soon as we got down to pavement at Big Water near Lake Powell, we headed home. I was just really sick. She had been sick previous. She got some kind of flu in Vegas last year, and then she was sick at Overland Expo in Flagstaff. So this year she got to enjoy Expo, which is very nice. Now, is there anything else I should be telling you? No, I think we're just gonna start out maybe in Escalante a little bit, and then drop down Smoky Mountain. So welcome to Cannonville on the north end of Cottonwood Canyon Trail. And on our left, the BLM has a very nice little visitor center when they're open. And the flag isn't up, so they probably aren't open. And the local sheriff has got himself some revenue for the county, it looks like. So to our left is Bryce. This is downtown, by the way. It's like there's this hotel, there's a gas station, and that's it. So to our left is Bryce Canyon. So we're very much in Bryce Canyon kind of country here, but we're going to the right towards the town of Escalante. So State Highway 12 goes from Bryce over to Torrey. And that's where you meet up with State Highway 24, which goes into Capitol Reef National Park. And then up through Hanksville and north up to I-70. But it's really scenic around here. It's a fantastic highway to drive. I would say it's equivalent in splendor to California's Highway 1. It's special. One of my favorite parts of this drive from Bryce to Escalante is through this canyon. There is a live creek running in the canyon, not part of the Pari River, although it drains into the Pari River. but it's really pretty through here. It's not as spectacular as Red Rock Canyon on the other side of the west side of Bryce Canyon, but it's still, not something to complain about. Beautiful cottonwoods, creek shimmering over there. Grand staircase, very evident here. Well, BLM office visitor center is open. I guess we can park like right about here. So you can see the rows of cliffs stacked up here that create the grand staircase. Yeah, it's not like real stairs, but it all gets higher and higher in elevation. Great relief map there at the visitor center. And then this is the geology of the grand staircase. It's in a glamping place called Overland. I think it's kind of weird. So first we'll go to the
gas station.
Yeah, it's open. Yeah, we'll go to the gas station and we'll come back to that.
And the liquor is sold somewhere else. Have a mercantile.
Okay. Find out. After revisiting in Escalante, we're heading down what will become Smokey Mountain Road after we wander through this area of town a bit. So nice to be clear of town, and at this point there's no need to air down. Okay, usual information signs. Since we've been here many times, I don't bother to read them. That's probably not the right attitude, but it is what it is when you're in and out of this monument often during the year. A steep drop into the canyon. Love these desert wash canyons. Just love them. Okay. Now we have to climb up this thing. And while it's steep, it's not technical.
This is a cliff rose bush. They're very aromatic. I sometimes could smell them from the distance. It's very dry here. They're struggling, but they're blooming, and just love them. This is an interesting brush. It's like, I forgot the name of it, but you see those during Christmas times, just the leaves much, much bigger. Interesting. We have some cactus here, and they look very healthy. They should be starting to bloom soon. Beautiful! And Jim is flying our drone somewhere out there. I see him!
Okay, some big ledges. We've had a few ledges along here. Got just busy flying the drone, so I'm not going to ever go out and shoot these, but they're, for us, they're not technical. It's clear, we got it. Like, this is the only shade for the next few days, probably. So I wouldn't, brag to anybody about this being a major creek crossing, but yeah, it's kind of cool. And the temperature's at 87 at 2:46. And we are going to, what, back in, I think we did last time? I don't remember. But we want to be underneath this cottonwood. Look at those rocks over there. All those holes. We are going to have fun with the drone. These little guys are pollywog fish. They're not going to turn into frogs. They're fish, and we find them in various places out here in the Southwest. Good morning, Overlanders. Well, here we are in Grand Staircase, Escalante, camped next to the Smokey Mountain Road. It's a gorgeous location. I've got some drone shots, and it should be fun to watch those because we flew down the creek yesterday. And it is getting kind of warm for out here in the desert. This is the towards the end of May 23rd. And also our inverter quit working this morning. There's always something going on, you know. So I don't know, maybe a fuse or a loose wire or something. Got to fix that. And so Katya's cooking up the old-fashioned way, cooking breakfast on a gas propane stove. And also, we reached our limit with Starlink. So it wants me to authorize another 50 gigabytes. Fine, I'd be happy to do that. Except they don't give me internet access, and they send a verification code to email. Well, we can't get email out here in the middle of nowhere. So we're stuck. We can't do anything with Starlink. And, you know, that's fine this morning. It wouldn't be fine if there was an emergency and we spend, you know, what, $600 a year or something like that to those folks. And when we really need it, their goofy system doesn't, you know, it should alert us well beforehand so we can authorize. But they don't. So we're out here really alone. There were no cars yesterday. Wait a minute, no cars last night. There was one little Ford Maverick went by in the evening, and earlier a guy from Oregon on a BMW motorcycle went by. And that's it. Yesterday, early as we started, we had 3 dirt bikers and nothing else. We don't see parked cars anywhere, nothing. So Smokey Mountain Road is the boonies, even though it's pretty well graded. And it's a really nice road. There's some ledges that make it a 3 out of 10 rating. And I don't know how that big old heavy BMW motorcycle in that little Maverick pickup sitting so low got over those, but I assume they somehow got to Escalante. He was actually friendly. He came running up to me and introduced himself. Looking good and smells great. So chaos in the kitchen with Katya always, but always good food, and I really appreciate her amazing cooking and her ability to just shift gears and suddenly go from the electric appliances to gas. Okay, as we leave Last Chance Creek, that wonderful campsite, we do have a series of fairly steep, ledgy climbs. This one isn't very bad. The previous one, which I should have shot, we've thrown the van around quite a bit. It's pretty rocky, but not really very technical. Just steep and bouncy. But this is the kind of terrain we love. So it's 10 o'clock in the morning here towards the end of May, and it's already 80 degrees. And it's getting pretty uncomfortable. Yesterday afternoon was kind of uncomfortable down there. It was getting pretty hot. And we have a lot of bug bites. We didn't put on the no gnats in time. And the no-see-ums, it really is very hard to see them. They were, crawling all over us. So we retreated to the van, but then that's hot. So, that's what you encounter out here, and that's the way it goes. But this is some of our favorite part of the terrain out here. So let's go find those oil seam fires that have been burning for thousands of years. I guess the natives told the pioneers they were burning for thousands of years, whatever. Not sure how you could date those scientifically, but there may be ways. And we're headed for that plateau in the distance. Well, what can I say? Mesa top, plateau top, whatever this is. Looks like it's probably more of a mesa. Not that big. Anyway, you can make up some pretty good time. A few bumps here and there like this. But mostly just go for it. We just passed a taco truck all fitted up beautifully for overlanding. Great view of a huge region. And a road that goes off to something. But there's no evidence of coal seams or fires. Cracks in the earth that is supposed to be there. Gaia just has its point of interest wrong. But I think I know where they are, and we're going to go try to find them. Hey, we're on a side road looking for the elusive coal seam fires. And we don't see a puff of smoke anywhere, and we do not smell anything so far. Okay, these are supposed to be the vents. And I thought the BLM was not successful in closing them. So we send the nose after this, because this is much more her thing. And we'll look around and see if we can find something. Katya picked up a smell of burning coal. But if this was one of the old coal seam fires down in here, it seems to have ended some time ago, and it's like there's dirt falling in it and all that. So it seems unlikely. But Katya's out searching out this direction where she thinks she smells it. She has a more sensitive nose than I do, being all culinary and that sort of thing. But we certainly don't see any smoke. I mean, this is not a smoking mountain for sure. So this vent's very deep, but still, I'm getting kind of a little bit of a coal smell out here. I mean, we'd like to eradicate burning coal from the planet, but this is natural and kind of interesting. And cracks like this, by the way, in this type of terrain, I don't think I've seen them before. So this is something different. Yeah, I smell burning coal. We're there, or I guess we're here. And it's sort of a mess of these things all over out here. But I certainly smell the coal now. So we're either getting closer, or that was one of the remaining ones. Wow, this is cool, isn't it? So as far as Smokey Mountain, that doesn't seem to be happening anymore. Wow, that is very deep and dark. This is cool. Definitely smell coal. Getting stronger.
Really deep?
Yeah, over here also really deep. This is like, wow. Don't want to fall down in one of those though. Look at all this out here. This is crazy. Really crazy. Now this may be the result of the BLM trying to blast these things into submission. There's something over there too. Yeah, this would even qualify as a Marsscape. But there is a deep trench on the other side of it, although I don't feel like getting through it. To go over to it, but I am interested in seeing what's out here, because all these fissures seem to go this direction. Now there's no coal sitting on the surface. If there's anything, it's deep. So this looks like it may have been a fissure through here, and it's been dynamited. I smell very strong. Do you smell strong coal smell now? Mm-hmm. Yeah, very strong. Lovely for coal miners. So they're still burning down there somewhere, but smoke for some reason doesn't seem to be getting to the surface. So let's walk over and take a look here. Oh, some of the other YouTubers, they'll show you the feet like this. that they're walking. I think it's kind of gratuitous, but whatever. If you want to see walking feet and you miss it from our videos, now we have a walking feet thing. Okay, look at this stuff. Strong coal smell again. Wow, this is like weird, really weird. So this fissure in the terrain is all blown up. Come on, one little puff of smoke. Just one little puff. Okay, you get to experience the same as we're doing, except it's 88 degrees and smells out here. So this is the top of Kelly Grade. This is a dispersed camping area here. And we did pass some, by the way, see a little bit of Lake Powell in the distance. Just a few little spots of blue. The scene isn't very good out there. It's smoky for some reason. Not the coal fire smoke. But here we're going to trade off. And Katya is going to, let's go down a little bit to that dispersed area. So Katya is going to drive. And I'm going to fly the drone. There's another cool dispersed area here on the right that we'll launch from. So Kelly Grade is probably the best switchbacks out here, like considering Schaefer Trail and Moki Dugway and Burr. Did I name them all? I think so. Yeah, it's pretty terrific. And by the way, we've passed a lot of roads going off in different directions. It could go out to coal seams, but you know, we've sort of seen enough. Oh, look how steep that is dropping down there. Katya drove this last year, so she's fearless. But let's go out and check out. This is like a way cool campsite. Although it's 89 degrees, so it's pretty much getting to where we don't like to camp when it gets this hot. But let's go over these bumps. And I don't know if it smells like coal out here or not. But we are going way down there. And if you want to camp at this great camp spot, there's already a fireplace for you if you don't have a solo stove or something like that. Okay, we're trading off. So we're at the bottom of Kelly Grade, and due to the heat out here, I think we're going to finish up or do more of Grand Staircase Escalante in the fall when it gets cooler, and we could also get some cottonwoods in color. We decided to head for higher ground in Bears Ears. There's a route that I've wanted to try, and we have the time. And it ends up being, we'll be camping at like 8,000 feet if we need to, in the pines. Really nice up there. So our overlanding trips are, somewhat sculpted and scheduled, but not really very much. It's like you get places and it's like, let's just, let's go somewhere else, because there's so much to explore in South Utah that, I don't know, it's like just bounce around. And so the off-roading part is segments, and then we get on the highway and we get scooting along. So then I stop for, lunch at a restaurant or dinner at a restaurant. If the heat's too much, stop at a hotel. You really don't want to put, air conditioning in here, because you'll just get, the junipers will just tear it off the top of the van anyway. So out here below Kelly Grade, after all that spectacular scenery, it's less of spectacular, but it's still good scenery. So we're going to be heading to Big Water and the Highway 89. And Big Water's a big nothing, but that's where you connect to the highway. So we're going to show you a little bit more and explain a little bit more. And then we're going to take the drone and put it up for the river crossing. Now, this river crossing is nothing too technical. That BMW went across it that we passed yesterday, and so did the little Maverick pickup that wasn't lifted. So, it's not a problem. But it should be kind of fun to look at with a drone. And out ahead of us is some interesting terrain, but after the spectacular Kelly Grade, it is not as interesting. It's just not really a letdown. It's just that was just so amazing. And hopefully you enjoyed all the drone shots, because I really enjoyed flying it. I flew it all by hand. I didn't use follow, and that was cool, because I can reach them. Okay, as we continue down Smokey Mountain Road, we have Big Water, 14 miles, but to the left is the famous Elstrom Point, which we'd love to camp on, but we're now at 95 degrees. And it's too early in the day, 1 o'clock, and there's nowhere to seek shelter, shade, higher elevation around here. It's just, it's over for camping out here at this time of the year. The summertime is here. So, with regrets, we're going on to another adventure, and that's just fine. Being flexible is part of overlanding. And you can see we're getting into some slick rock terrain, which is always a favorite.